Aloha to our BYU Hawaii Ohana. Mahalo for joining us in this memorable and unforgettable presentation.
The Student Leadership and Service Department, in collaboration with Media Production, present a series of videos honoring the tradition and students of Culture Night. Over the last few months, student leaders of 26 clubs gave their everything to choreograph, compose song lyrics, design and sew costumes, plan logistical needs, and coordinate 2,000 students for their Culture Night performances. This has been a labor of love, so join us as we celebrate these remarkable students.
The Tahitian Club mission statement is to share the cultures of Tahiti, which teach love, respect and service. Through different activities, we want to build that love and respect which built an environment of home. The Tahitian Club contribute to the mission of BYU Hawaii by building individuals into their own responsibilities. We allow people to volunteer themselves to join the club and to be responsible for things they haven't done in the past. By doing so, we allow them to develop their leadership skills and we allow them to expand their knowledge which will contribute to the development of their discipleship of Jesus Christ.
For the Culture Night this year, the Tahiti Club will perform about the legend of the Tiari. The legend of the Tiari is telling us about how the god Atia, the god of the creation of the Tiari, made the flower. In our performance, the audience we have to look at the three main characters, the god Atia, the god Tani, and the goddess Hina. Hina then will call all the girls to come and dance with her. The costume of the girls will be a white top and a green patio that represent the plant of the Tiari. The costume for men will be a green patio. At the beginning, they will represent the gods, and at the end, when they will gather with the woman, they will represent the men in the population. The woman will represent the Tiari, and when they will all gather, they will show how grateful we are to have this flower on earth.
For this year's cultural night, the Indonesian chapter is gonna present a story about Roro Jonggrang. It's a story of an unrequited love that we have here in our country. It's very significant to us because that's the common story that every teenagers have, and we would like to bring it up to the audience because how important it is for us to know love with each other, especially from our country.
Indonesia Club teach the members to be the disciple of Jesus Christ by serving others, doing service project, and also serving the organization to help the students become more independent and responsible within the organization or anywhere they are.
I think during the performance, the audience should look for how you're gonna use the traditional and the contemporary music together. The costume for this concert night is gonna be great. We're gonna keep our dress traditional, but also has a modern touch in them. The costume for the ladies, most of them are gonna in traditional scarf. That's the kind of scarf that we use for the royalties, for the princesses back in the olden times. But for the guys though, it's gonna be even better because we're gonna use a traditional martial art clothing from Indonesia called pencak silat.
Our club stewardship statement is to empower our students in BYU Hawaii to be a great leader and to go back home and make a difference in their communities and families. We try to teach our members to reach out and care for each other, to show our love and care like a Christ-like characters. Our club is ohana and refuel by showing our love to each other and make them feel like home every time they come to our club and do our activities. We serve them with food and we just want them to feel like home and they're with their families. Our club helps better a member by being a great example.
There are three parts of the performance. The first one is the Northern Thai dance that it shows the respect and the beauty of the women in the Northern. And the second one is the sword fight that will represent the sacrifice, the honor, and the strength of the Thai people that they sacrificed for the country during the war. The last one is the festival we call Lai Katong, that we show the gratitude towards the goddess of river. The costume represents the beauty, and the flower represents the beauty of the women. And the costume for the guys represent the strength and the honor during the war. And the last one is the happiness during the festival. The audience should look for the symbolic of the beauty in the costume. They should look for the strength and the honors, and also the movement during the fingers and the hands during the dance, and the fun in the festival, the last show.
Our goal is just to not just teach people to dance, but help them feel comfortable where they're able to express themselves freely through dance and build, friendships and networks amongst people that are outside their usual network of friends. Our stewardship statement here in the Hip Hop Club relates to BYUH's mission statement is most directly linking to the aspect of character building. Not only helps people to develop confidence, but also social skills as well, to be able to express themselves as an individual. The Hip Hop Club here at BYUH serves as a ohana or a refuge to its students, is the way in which it provides kind of an escape from the stresses and the school life, studying, midterms, exams, it's pretty stressful for us students, and so it's a way in which we're able to come on down to the dance studio and just leaving it out in the studio. You know, God has given each of us talents to not just recognize them, but to continue to work on them, you know. And in doing so, they'll be able to better not just serve others, but recognize other talents that they might have.
Our story tonight is about different experiences that we students experience on our day-to-day life as freshmen. We get too excited and we start to find new friends, and then towards the end we kind of focus on the bad and try to isolate ourselves. But at the end of the day, we want to show that you're not alone. We can come together as students and as a family to create a happy and safe environment. We're trying to showcase unity within our college environment. You know, no one is ever alone, and we should be more aware of our surroundings and the people around us. So with our costumes, the reason why we chose dark bottoms is that it represents the dark times that we experience as students and even as individuals. And the reason why we chose a more light and brighter color for our tops is that we believe that light overcomes darkness.
Taiwan Club's mission stewardship statement is to share the Taiwanese culture and love with people by serving others. Taiwan is an island in the western Pacific Ocean, East Asia. It has been influenced and colonized by many different countries before. Because of that, Taiwanese culture is a big fusion of multiple diverse cultures. One of our goals is to help the club members to respect and accept other cultures as well. Taiwan is a friendly and kind place, so does the people. Our expectation of the Taiwan Club is also to apply what we have learned and establish the Zion while we study here.
The first dance, females wear qipao. Back in the day, just wealthy women wear qipao, and they wear qipao to attend formal social events. Qipao makes them look elegant and beautiful. One of our performances is Kung Fu. Kung Fu is a type of martial art, which comes in a wide variety of styles. It refers to any study, learning, or practice that requires patience, energy, and time to complete. In its original meaning, Kung Fu can refer to any discipline or skill achieved through hard work and practice. Our last dance is a modern dance. In Taiwan, young adults would gather together and dance together having fun. The music is very catchy and the movements are simple. It is easy for people to dance along.
Taiwan is historically known in English as Formosa. Formosa has the meaning of beautiful. We want to let others see the beauty of Taiwanese culture, not only the view or places and the people's hearts.
There are three elements in our stewardship mission statement. First of all is the family. As now we have only 5 students on campus, which is considered as a very, very small family. So we need more people to come to join our family, to share love and unity toward each other. The second one is the culture, because we have a rich culture back home in Cambodia. We would like to share the culture with our extended family here. And the last one is the leaders. We want to build them to be leaders. We do this because we want to make it accordingly to the mission statement of the BYU, is to help students to become the leaders both in their community, their family, and the chosen field. We are a small club, but we try to do our best to have as much as worthwhile activities during this semester for the students who come to join us.
Our cultural night performance this year is very sacred to us Cambodian, because it shows the birth and the origin of Cambodian culture and civilization. We want to show our ancestors' masterpiece because they're known to be stone carvers, and they also build a lot of ancient temples. And tonight we're gonna show you guys how they built it. Our costume is a mix between the ancient Cambodian and the present Cambodian. We do this because we want to bring the spirit of the past and the future together. The audience should look for the hand gestures and the body language of the performers, because these are not to beautify or decorate performance, but they are there to talk. They speak the language, they speak the ancient movement of the Khmer culture, and because of that, the audience should pay attention to our hand gesture.
I guarantee that all the people that come to join our club will feel that this is their own family and refugee.
Our club statement is inspired by the last part of Philippians chapter 1 verse 27, when it says that ye stand fast in one spirit with one mind, striving together for the faith of the gospel. So as a chapter, we strive to be united as one, and we also counsel together with the Lord in all aspects of not just the chapter but also our lives. We want people to join the Singapore and Malaysia chapter not just to know more about our culture, but for a place to belong. Since most of us are so far away from home, providing a place where we can focus on our similarities and not just our differences would be ideal. We focus our activities in terms of interaction and immersion. We try to move away from activities that are too focused on talking about our culture, but instead we focus on the culture of the gospel. We welcome anyone that walks through our doors and make them feel like they belong.
During our whole performance, I would like the audience to look at the music instrument that I'll be playing. The instrument is called sape. Sape is a traditional lute of many of the Orang Ulu or upriver people. Sape is considered a sacred instrument used to cure sick people and for peace ceremony. The audience also should look at or focus on the songs that I will be singing. The first two songs are chants in Iban, and the last song is a song in Kenya language. These songs are basically about getting together and have fun. The male dancers will be shirtless on the first dance so that their bungay turong, tattoos, can be seen on their shoulders. In Iban culture, bungay turong, tattoos is sacred and it protects us from any harm or evil spirit. It glows and it is a way for God to see us. For the bottom part, they will use sirat, Iban traditional garment. They also have a blowpipe with them in our culture. We use blowpipe for hunting. Meanwhile, the female dancers, they will use ngapan. They also have kirip, a flower-like crop that is originally made by hornbill feathers attached to the hands. Hope you guys will enjoy our performance. Age dop, age ngelaban.
The Japanese chapter's mission statement is be one. We believe we can be one even in people of different backgrounds, cultures, and thinking styles. We also believe that being one will expand our possibilities and potentials. I want to share one Japanese word, nakama. Nakama is people who share the same goals or visions and work, struggle, fight together to achieve the goal. As the president of Japanese chapter, I always feel the power of nakama, and I hope they are feeling it as well. This is the best place to learn and understand we are here for you. We are not alone, and everyone is a leader. Let's be one and create something big and special in your life together.
This year, Japanese chapter will be performing one of the Japanese traditional dance called yosakoi. Yosakoi is usually performed at events and festivals in Japan. And the style of the dance is highly energetic and combine some Japanese traditional dance movement with modern music. During our performance, audience should look for our beautiful smile. We are happy to dance one of the traditional dance called yasakoi. We wear a uniform called yukata, and we wear yukata when we have a festival and events in Japan. Our uniform is intentionally made larger, so our performance will be more dynamic and beautiful. So I hope everyone will enjoy our performance and also uniform.
Our club stewardship statement is to strengthen and share our unique Kiribati culture and concept to other students. Back home, like family is the important thing for us. So we're trying to bring like our culture to the club here, and also we're trying to help other people, like other non-Kiribati people that join our club to be part of us. We're trying to help them by knowing the importance of communication and also the importance of putting others, like other people, more priority than themselves.
So for this year, we will be doing the box dance. It's called the Kaimeto. We're the only island in the Pacific that use that dance, where we use the big box and then the men will surround it and then they will hit it. And then the rest of the people surrounding it will be singing along with the man. Kiribati dance, we use our head, hands, body motion, our legs and our hips. It's a combination, pretty much a combination of the entire Pacific dance. Our costumes made of pandanus and coconut leaves, the middle part of the coconut leaves. For the girls, they wear skirts, black skirts. We call them the karuru in Kiribati. They're like wristbands, and they have lace as well with garlands. For the boys, they wear the same costume as the girls, like everything on top, just the bottom, they wear the mat.
The history of Korea is long and unique. Korea has been home for us culturally and spiritually for over 4,000 years. The mission statement of Korean chapter is to bring students together build relationships, and connect them to the Korean culture. If the students come to the Korean chapter, we will welcome them in our traditional way. Our goal is to bring the environment into BI Hawaii. We love to share the service, and we love to meet the friends who are new to the Korean chapter. And with the service they provide, we can make a relationship which can last even after your time here in BI Hawaii. When the students come to the chapter, according to their ability, we will give their chance to be a leader in our chapter. They don't have to be Korean to take the position. We welcome everyone, no matter where they come from.
The performance we're preparing is a kind of integral effort of combining the spirit of my ancestors to express their country beauty of nature and people who live there by Korean fan dancing and talchum. Unlike most ordinary mask dances in the world, in the talchum dance, each Korean mask has its own unique character in the play that symbolizes good and evil. We are focusing on introducing the beauty of its motions. You will be surprised with our performance because we don't use Korean traditional folk music. Instead, we are using Korean popular songs. The costume concept itself was started from traditional Korean, but elaborated to show the modern dramatic Korea. Hope you find joy finding those traditional elements during the performance. We will do our best to present this to you and hope you enjoy.
Most students, when they come to dancing, they're usually intimidated at first, but ballroom dance takes it from the basics, working with the basic steps for each of the dancers and then building it up from there. Ballroom Dance Chapter is a place where they're able to come together with two people who have never danced before, learn the basic steps, and eventually move through the harder lifts and drops and be able to truly create something that looks beautiful.
So the unique thing about ballroom is that it's not just one culture, and we really wanted to show that in these dances. So we have 3 different dances. They're very different in style and location. Our first dance is a cha-cha, and it's kind of that spunk. It's got some sass to it. And the second one following it is going to be more of a ballroom. So it's your fairy tale princess story, you know, you've got Cinderella's waltz. Our third dance is a swing, and so it's got that fun Beach Boys feel. It's the most relaxed and just kind of having a good time.
Ballroom dancing is a really hard thing to be able to master, but by working together with the other members in the chapter, people are able to come together to truly develop, lead in their partnerships, and continue to grow in learning, to develop their talents, and to be able to help promote our community by building up the kingdom of God through dance. Our chapter is a disciple leadership training center for our members because as ballroom dance gets more and more complex, it'll take more dedication and perseverance to be able to learn the formations and the routines and the more advanced moves, especially because you're working with another individual. These things, such as perseverance and diligence, are both attributes required of good leaders and effective servants of the Lord.
The audience should look for the range, the teamwork. A lot of these dance moves involve 2 people being completely in tune with each other. There's lifting, there's swinging, and it's knowing your partner and just really having that love for the thing that you're doing. We're a uni club. We're not just one culture, we're all the cultures. We're coming together to do things that we love. We're coming together to grow, to learn. We have people who come from never dancing before to people who are national champions, and we get this chance to learn and to grow with each other, to dance.
The purpose of the Filipino chapter is to provide pamilya or family not only for the Filipinos on campus but also for the people who are feeling the culture in their hearts. The club contributes to the mission and vision of BYU Hawaii by participating and engaging to various activities, both educational and spiritual. We always believe that family is the most important thing in our lives as Filipinos. And I have seen it here at BYU Hawaii, wherein members of the chapter constantly cares, loves, and helps one another in spite of all the challenges that each of us are going through as students here at BYU Hawaii. The chapter is a disciple training center wherein we care for the needs of one another. When someone is in need, we help them with the best that we can.
This year's performance will going to be a different style from the previous years that the Filipino chapters had performed. It's not going to be the traditional dances that most people know, but this time our theme is going to be street dancing. In the Philippines, we have a celebration called Fiesta or Festival where each places in the Philippines, they celebrate something that they are known for. And in this celebration, people performs in the streets wearing costumes that inspired of what they are known for. Our performance will be divided into 4 groups. It represents the elements, which is fire, water, earth, and wind. And in this performance, it's like all the elements combined, creating our country, the Philippines. For our costumes, it is inspired by our national symbols. The first costume is inspired by our national bird, which is the Philippine eagle. The second costume is inspired by our national flower, which is sampaguita. The third costume is inspired by our perfect cone volcano, which is Mount Mayon, and ocean or pearl, because our national gem is pearls.
Our club contributes to the BYU Hawaii mission by sharing their knowledge, sharing their culture, and sharing their personalities to make new friends. For our club, Ohana means family, and family means Ainga in Samoan. So when you get here to BYU Hawaii, this is your family. You mingle with other Samoan students and you feel like you're one of the Samoan students. So don't be afraid, just come and join us and mingle with the Samoan students. As new students, we depend on our families and friends. As part of this club, we help you learn to become independent, to give back to other students.
Our performance this year is dedicated to the victims of the measles epidemic. It starts out with the song Laulupe Walele, which means "My dove has flown away," which refers to all our children and loved ones who have passed on. The following songs encourage our mourning families not to be sad and not to worry. The guys will then perform Masivata, which is symbolic of war and battle. It is a reminder to all of Samoa to keep on fighting for what's ahead of us. And then, when all is done, we finish with the Tawalunga. When we succeed, we get together and celebrate. Our costumes are simple. We decided yellow and blue this year because those are the colors of the church high schools back home where most of our Samoan students attended. The red kiki and hairpiece are feathers. Bright colored feathers were only worn at special occasions and during celebrations. For the audience, I know it'll be hard to miss, but just watch out for the happy people of Samoa.